Hello students, welcome to Sant Tukaram National Model School's YouTube channel, and I Mr. Abhilash Jadhav once again welcome you to the 5th standard science where we are studying about the space. In last part of the video, in the first part of the video, my dear students, we have studied that the space is everything beyond the Earth's atmosphere. So whatever the empty area, the quiet place out of the Earth's atmosphere where the various planetary bodies are located, this is called as the space. Now in this part we will see how can we go to the space. As we have to travel to the different destinations, we sometimes use the various vehicles, sometimes the vehicles we use, sometimes we travel with the train, sometimes even if you need to go to the long distance we have to travel by the aeroplanes also. As like that, to go to the various places on the earth we use various different vehicles. So can we use the same vehicle to go into the space? Is it suitable? Can it be used? No, the answer is no. We cannot use the vehicles which we use on earth to travel into the space. So we have designed a special vehicle so that we will be able to travel into the space, and the special vehicle is called as the spacecraft. So about this spacecraft today we will learn. Okay, so here in this picture you can see the spacecraft. Okay, so what is a spacecraft? Spacecraft is a vehicle that can carry the people who go into the space. These are called as the astronauts. About that I'll come to the in the separate video. Okay, so this vehicle which is designed to travel into the space, which carry the astronauts and sometimes the cargo also, various things required to be carried into the space. So all these things, the vehicle which carries these astronauts and the cargo out of the Earth's atmosphere through the space, through the planet, to the other planetary bodies, to the space station. As we have the airports and railway stations, as like that we have the space station in the space. So this vehicle carries the astronauts and cargo to the space station or to the other planetary bodies. So this vehicle is called as the spacecraft. Okay, spacecraft which are launched from the surface of the planet, from the earth. Various launch pads are there, various space agencies are there of different countries have their own space agencies. As we have the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, like that others they have their own space agencies and they have the launch pads. So the spacecraft which are launched from the surface of the launch pad from the planet are called as the launch vehicles. Okay, so spacecraft directly cannot go into the space, so launch vehicle is required, or the rockets we call them. Rockets are required to give them the initial velocity, initial speed to push them out of the Earth's atmosphere. So these are called as the launch vehicles, or we call them as the rockets, and usually take from the launch pads at the spaceports. As I said, ports are there. There the launch pads are there. From this launch pad the rockets are there, or the launch vehicles are there. These launch vehicles carry this spacecraft to certain distance, and after that the spacecraft gets separated from these rockets or the launch vehicles, and they travel to the further their destination. So these are the spacecraft. The first spacecraft who has prepared it? Soviet Union. Today this country is known as the Russia, which has been divided into the several countries. Now it is Russia. So Russia has prepared, that time Soviet Union, first spacecraft. The name of the first spacecraft was Sputnik 1, which was launched on 4th of October 1957, whose weight was 83.6 kilogram, means 84 kilogram was the weight of this first spacecraft, whose name was the Sputnik 1. After 4 years of launch of the Sputnik 1, on 12th of April 1961, Soviet Union, Russia has launched the first manned spacecraft, means has carried this first spacecraft was without man. This was with astronaut. The manned spacecraft was launched again by the Russia on the 12th April 1961. This spacecraft was known as the Vostok 1, which has carried the Russian astronaut whose name was the Yuri Gagarin into the space. So he was the first person to travel into the space. After this, after 1961, numerous other manned and unmanned spacecrafts have been launched into the space to increase the scientific knowledge as well as to provide the important services to us, like the satellite services, and so many things are there, telecommunication, and even it is used in the safety and security of the country, means for the defense purpose of the countries also these satellites are used. So many numerous satellites and spacecraft has been launched after this. So this was about the spacecraft. In next part of the video we'll see certain other information about the space. Thank you so much.